weekend because Jason is not going to be able to help me until next week now. I get it. I understand it. Life happens. It's not my fault those other gentlemen didn't show up. Just like it's not his fault that I didn't show up. I get that. Now I could pass the buck. I could try saying that it's definitely his fault that I didn't show up. It's not. It was circumstance. And that's what I'm trying to get people to admit. Admit to the circumstances instead of pretending I'm trying to blame you. Like, I didn't get the stuff done that I needed to do today. Was it because people were horrible people? No. That lady at the Seventh-day Adventist has gone out of her way. Understanding, however, because she's been in, well, not nearly this shitty a situation, but from what I could gather, she's been in some pretty goddamn shitty situations. She gives her glory to God. I give my thanks to her. She can give the glory to whoever she chooses, but it was her efforts. Her getting on the phone. And then the lady that she got on the phone with at the Seventh-day Adventist, getting on the phone, making efforts on my behalf. As well as the pastor there, getting on the phone and actually making efforts on my behalf, because I could not do those things for myself. It's not that I wasn't trying, it's that I had exhausted all of my resources trying. You tell me if I go to these places and do these things that I'll get help. You don't stop to consider the fact that I have to go in alone, which is always the problem. For me to go in alone this time and to be treated like a human being instead of, oh, well, if you come to our congregation and you come to Sunday school and come to church on Wednesdays, then maybe we'll help you. We'll probably, but we'll pray for you. They don't consider the time that you've invested into that possibility of maybe help. You give them the false impression of hope that if they do what you want, you might help them, but you're a fucking liar. You get to give yourself kudos because you got the preachers and the other congregation trying to encourage you to bring more people to the church. But you're bringing them to the church through lies and false fucking pretenses. They don't want to fucking be there. They're going there because they need fucking help. This isn't about God, it's about getting kudos. Kudos from the congregation. Well, them folks at the Seventh-day Adventist have helped me out a fucking shit ton. I need an advocate, though, an actual advocate, someone who will look at the fucking evidence, for Christ's sake. If you won't even look at the fucking evidence, how can you fucking help me? You know the tactics, some of you anyway, the tactics the police use to blow off a male victim, to pretend that assaults and threats against my life, to pretend that those are a civil matter. No, they're absolutely fucking not. For me to be dragged into court for lies from people that had zero fucking evidence, for me to have judgments against me because I was illegally prevented from going to court. Now let's talk about Kayla Trujillo now. Let's talk about the fact that, yes, Kayla Trujillo in our recordings admits that I've been going to her trying to get help since 2016. When that shit happened with A Bear over at her house on 120th and Melody. Yeah, fucking Denver's big, Aurora's big. It's all pretty big compared to everything that is in the surrounding area. It's a pain in the ass to travel there to get her help. And I got them, and all they wanted to do was redirect it. Hey, let's just take your mind off of it. We'll play Magic the Gathering. So I did. I played Magic the Gathering with them. And everybody got sick of playing Magic the Gathering because Abear's an asshole. He can take anything fun and make it fucking suck. Nobody who is at that house, other than Abear, plays Magic the Gathering anymore. We got fucking burnt out with being fucking treated like shit. Hey, can we just play the game and fucking enjoy it, dude? But he's an antagonist. I've noticed that the antagonists and the bullies, these are the ones that most of the women in America are attracted to. You'll do fucked up shit to an innocent person over somebody that you're attracted to. Both men and women do this. With Kayla Trujillo, when she had drunk to pretend that she gave a shit. And so I'm telling her what's going on, trying to. She's gotten to listen to almost 5 of it, and she's listened pretty intently by that point. This is the only time, by the way, at all through any of this, that she didn't interrupt me and talk over me and talk down to me and treat me like I fucking deserved whatever it is she wasn't even willing to listen to. The reason for this is because while she was listening to me, Joshua Abear woke up, wanted to fucking put his 2 cents in and not shut the fuck up. I wasn't allowed to speak after that. Josh Abear wouldn't fucking allow it. It needed to be one-on-one because I needed serious fucking help with a serious fucking issue. And you guys say, oh, you can't blame it on me. You can't blame it on me. You didn't give a fuck. Josh Abear didn't give a fuck, but what did Kayla do afterwards? She's recorded on my channel, admitting to the situation with Joshua Abear, that it did actually happen, but she's putting it all on Josh Abear. It's all Josh's fault. No. As soon as Joshua Abear started treating me like that, she started treating me exactly the same way, that exact same night. And of course, she was drunk. So at that point, even though she had tried listening to that point, at that point, Josh Abear is fucking starting issues at her fucking house at like 11:30 at fucking night. I am having a fucking panic attack over the fact that I need someone to listen. I am at that point. I've already been physically assaulted by that point. I've already had my life threatened by that point. I need actual help. And after going to Miss Peaches for that help, after panhandling to make sure that they had money at the house for fucking food for their fucking kids, after that, we're going to do it Peaches once. Miss Peaches is going to snap at me if I try to tell her what's going on. After Natalie was killed, I was like, I tried to get fucking help. And what did Peaches reply? Well, you should have tried harder. How could I try harder? If I talk nicely, you blow me off like it's no big major thing. Until I have a fucking shit ton of anxiety because of all the time and resources that I have spent. If I do this, you'll help me. If I do that, you'll help me. If I do this and that, and if I bring this, and if I bring that, if I provide cigarettes. Then if there's a time that I don't have cigarettes and you're providing them to me, I'm thankful, but you're bitching at me because I'm smoking your cigarettes. Meanwhile, I provided what you asked me to provide so that I could get the help that I needed. And Miss Peaches wants to put it all off onto Joshua Abear. It's his fault. It was all Josh Abear. She didn't make any mistakes. She was absolutely pristine and perfect. And she was going to try afterwards when it was just me and her. But she never tried with it just being me and her. We had plenty of time where it was just me and her. But she was always busy with something. And of course, she passes it all off onto Hebert. It's Hebert's fault. No, it's both of their decision, both of their fault. They could have listened. They could have helped. I already knew going to Joshua Hebert was a waste of time. That's why we waited. We agreed that we were going to wait for Josh to go to sleep so that we could have a one-on-one conversation. So that Josh wouldn't do what he does while we're playing Magic the Gathering. While we're having a civil conversation, he turns everything into a fucking high-intensity situation where nobody wants to be the fuck around him. But Miss Peaches has a sexual history with Joshua Hebert since she was underage. He got out of prison. He was in his 30s at that point in time, and she was 15. Congratulations, Joshua Hebert. Now then, let's go to the Arapahoe County thing, right? So I write Miss Peaches a letter about what's going on in there because there's money for the phone. It's not my fault that that money that Mandy Hughes had sent was not on my books. It wasn't put on my books until it was too late for that money to make a fucking difference. At that point, all that money being on my books and being on the phones did was allow people to give me some consolation. I could hear an actual human voice on the other end who's not fucking abusive. And who is that voice? Alyssa Rainwater. All that money that they spent on phones so that I could talk to them after it was already too late. The money that they sent that could have made a difference never showed up. Now then there's the fact that Miss Peaches was aware of all of this shit and she needed to fucking come forward and fucking testify. And she had fucking said that she was gonna. And for months, she had wasted my fucking time and my resources, and I went to her for help. I tried to show the fucking evidence, but it's no, John, I believe you. I believe you. I don't have to see it. I believe you. She didn't have time. Well, if you care about somebody, you make the time. If somebody comes to you and they are being abused and you blow them off, you are a fucking piece of shit. You are worse than the person committing the crime. Let me tell you something. If somebody rapes your little sister, and your little sister comes to you for help and you blow her off, you are worse than the person who raped her because you helped her rapist get away, you piece of shit. Good to be rid of you. Thanks for coming to visit. Stay out of trouble or don't get caught. Remember, you are your brother's keeper and no victim left behind. Be ever vigilant.